I request Deepa to start.
Hello.
Yes, Diba, am I audible to you?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Right now, VC sir is busy in some other meeting, which is also a similar type of event. So he will be joining us sometime later. So I request you to skip the introduction part and the request part for VC sir. You can directly proceed with the rest of the things.
Okay, sir.
You may start now.
A very good morning to one and all present here today. I, Deepa Mishra, on behalf of Career and Counselling Cell, welcome you all to the online workshop on the topic How to Prepare for UPSC Civil Services. And today, we are really honored to have our chief guest, Vice Chancellor of JC Bose University of Science and Technology, Professor Dinesh Kumar, Head of Career and Counselling Cell, Dr. Arvind Gupta, and other faculty members. And obviously, a very renowned educationalist, TEDx speaker, the man himself, Mr. Alok Kumar from Game Changers Academy, which has not only experienced but also working IS and IPS officers as mentors. And once again, I welcome all the participants and I request you all to kindly mute yourselves so that there is no interruption. As light is a symbol of happiness, brightness, and prosperity that gives us hope to look at the positive rather than the negative, I would like everyone to join us for the virtual lamp lightning and request Chirag sir to do the needful. Sir, Chirag sir, am I audible?
Just a second, there is some technical glitch at his side.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
Thank you, sir. Civil services, UPSC, IS, IPS, these are the words that we all have heard. Every year, there are about 10 lakh people who dream and work to achieve that tag, to bring the change to serve the nation. वो कहते हैं ना कि वर्दी की बात ही कुछ अलग है, वर्दी की शान ही कुछ अलग है. But in order to be the one, you need to have a proper planning and of course a lot of hard work. and guidance from someone who has inspired many like you. So without taking any more time, I request Mr. Alok Kumar sir to guide us on how to go on the right path. Sir, over to you.
Just give me 1 minute. I'm just setting my PPT.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Is my PPT visible?
Yes, sir, your PPT is visible.
So good afternoon, everybody. I'm absolutely happy to meet all of you. I have come to your college thrice earlier in pre-COVID days, and I have done seminar and I have thoroughly enjoyed. So I was not very well. I was not keeping too well. But when I heard that, YMCA Faridabad, we have to do this program. So I was all excited. So it's great to see you all. And, all of you are very brilliant, bright students, energetic, very happy. So good to have. And the topic of the discussion is very nice, right off the bat. And it will not be a one-way, conversation. I will speak and you will also keep interacting on the chat box. So I know that, you and I are on the same page. Is that exciting? So, and you can keep writing down the questions which comes in your mind as and when, it happens with you. So we will talk today how to become absolutely, be ready for this civil services examination, how to become IAS, IPS, and as you see, the topic is wonderful right off the bat. And before I was going to start the session, I received a phone call from a very bright student. And he told me, sir, there is one blessing of COVID-19. I asked him, what is that blessing you're talking about? He said, sir, bilkul clear ho gaya what I have to do for my career. How do I have to shape my career? कैसे मुझे अपना career build करना है? If I speak in both Hindi and English, it's all right?
Yes, sir.
English, oh, that's great.
Yes, sir, that's great.
Okay, fine. So I said, okay, what is that new insight you have? And what he told me is important. He said, sir, because of the COVID-19, the economy is in bad shape. Most of the companies are either downsizing their employees or they are deducting the salary. Many companies are getting closed down also. So I have decided that no matter what, I will go for IAS because administration is becoming more and more powerful. So I really appreciate that perspective. You can have a different point of view altogether, but there are reasons why one should go for IAS, IPS. This is what we are going to discuss, and my discussion will be divided into two parts. One, I will talk about the mindset, the attitude, and another is the exact strategy. Normally when I talk to students and when I ask that how are you preparing for civil services examination, I immediately get the questions: how to read Hindu newspaper, how to prepare for general studies, how to prepare for optional. Now let me tell you, under the same circumstances, I have seen the same caliber of students, one qualifying and another not qualifying. आप समझ रहे हैं हमारी बात को? Same circumstance. I have seen university toppers, brilliant academic record, not making it, and a student who has an average record qualifying this examination. And this made me very curious. And so what I am doing for last 1 decade, I have done a lot of research. And the research है ये जानने के लिए कि how come certain students qualify and how come certain students do not qualify. Will you be interested in knowing in detail about the entire things? If yes, write yes in the chat box. Let's start interacting. Okay, that's great. I can see some of the answers. Okay, Yogesh, Rahul, Prachi, Avinash, Bhavika. All right, great. Keep responding like this so that our energy is well maintained. Now, as we go ahead, just a moment. Yeah, and as we go ahead, can you see the smiling faces? You know, it's extremely important that we should all be very happy and enthusiastic all the time. थोड़ा जोश होना चाहिए. बिना जोश का मुश्किल होता है. So as you see that a kid and 2 girls are smiling, wherever you are sitting, bring a broad smile on your face. Smile from ear to ear. जहां बैठे हैं और अपने माइंड को बोलिए थोड़ा जोश लाओ मेरे बॉडी में. Tell your mind and you will start feeling a little more enthusiastic. So that how do we time कैसे निकल जाएगा इस सेमिनार का आपको पता नहीं लगना चाहिए. मजा आना चाहिए. Enjoy. That's very important. Many people feel, you know, I've met different kind of people in corporate and the students, they feel after I will be extremely successful, I will become happy. That's wrong. I will tell you one thing. Become very happy and you will be successful. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the challenge and you will make it. Okay. So wherever you're sitting, smile from ear to ear and we will go ahead. And when you see this, what do you realize? Anybody? I am waiting for your answer in the chat box. When you see this slide, what comes in your mind? Anybody? I'm waiting. No answer? I'm sure you can make a, okay, let me see some of the answers. Diversity of culture, somebody is saying, okay. All right, see once more here. Okay. You see this, and somebody is saying absent-mindedness. Okay, Deepa, very correct. So it denotes that I may be physically sitting in front of the laptop, but mentally I may be somewhere else. So what I really want is that you enjoy the journey, have 100% attention. Be here exactly. Okay, fine. Great. Okay, so we'll go ahead. I can see some more answers coming. Okay, good. And as we go ahead, let's have 3 agreements between you and me. What is the first agreement? Can you guess what could be the concern? So the first agreement is that whenever you will think very big. That's important. Don't think small. You all are very bright students. That's why you are in this educational institution. Number 2, you will think very big. Number 2 is that's the extreme immediate action. I have seen people, I will start after 6 months. I will start when I will reach final year, or when they reach final year, and then I will try kind of thought process. Services, whether you're in first year, second year, third year, fourth year, start right now. That's the important. It's very important. Third, you and I will remain connected at least till the time you don't become IAS. So in the end, I will display my phone number. You're welcome to give me a call, and whenever I wish, I will give you a call. Is that all right? Is that the 3 agreements all right? So what is the first agreement? Let me repeat. You will always think very big. The energy involved in thinking small and thinking big is same. So why not think very big? Number 2, you will take immediate action. Number 3 is you and I will remain connected till the time you don't become IAS. Write in the chat box yes if you agree. I'm waiting for your answer. Okay. Immediate action. Very good. Yes, Shivani, Deepa, everybody. I'm not able to take name of everybody, but I'm happy that all of you are there. So this three agreement is very important in life. We will go ahead and see. Just a minute. So who is the boss here? Horse or the horse rider? Anybody? Obviously, horse is more powerful, but the horse rider is the person who runs the horse. So similarly, human mind is extremely powerful. So it's your decision, and hear me out very carefully. It is your decision which will decide whether you will run the mind or mind will run you. You know, recently I was speaking to a student from a very prestigious management institution. He wanted to become an IAS officer. So I asked him, so why don't you start preparing for it straight away? And he said, sir, I am just 25 years old. I want to explore life for 1 or 2 years and then I will start preparing. अभी तो मैं बच्चा हूँ, बहुत जीवन में मौका बाकी, opportunities बाकी है. At this point of time, I was reminded of my interaction with a former cricket captain who had once told me that in cricket, 22, 23, 24 years is middle age. And after 30, you retire. Now, let me tell you, if you really want to build up a career better than average, if you really want to become an IAS or IPS officer, your prime age is anytime, 20 to 24 years, your middle age. आप लोग normally middle age, हम लोग क्या समझते हैं? उन लोगों को जो कि 45-50 साल का आदमी हो. Above 40 years, we consider to be middle age. But this thought process is not good enough from the perspective of your career. अगर करियर बनाना है तो 20 से 25 साल का एज is a crucial age. Take the best out of it. And there are a lot of things you learn from sports people, and this is one good thing. So it's time, my young boys and girls, to catch bull by horn. This is the time when you should give your best. This is the time when you should be decisive. This is the time when you should do wonders, and anything is possible with your youthful energy. और आप लोग तो, you are above the average students. That's why you are studying in such a wonderful place. So this is very important. Secondly, I'll tell you, we need to have a very clear-cut focus, and this is what separates average career and a successful career. This is a point. We don't have a focus. So I will share with you. I was having my favorite cappuccino about a year ago near Hindu College, Delhi University. So I met there one of a very two of my old students. One was a topper and another had an average track record. Now I want you to hear this story very carefully. The person who had an average track record, the student who had a very mediocre sort of career, he actually qualified and became an IAS officer. And the one who had topped in the university, he couldn't make it. So over a cup of coffee, we were discussing what could be the possible reasons. Now, what that university topper told me is something which is, which will give you a lot of guidance. It will open your mind. It will clear your perspective. He told me, sir, I couldn't make it because I had multiple goals in life. I asked him, what were those goals? He said, I thought that if not IAS officer, I will become bank PO. If not bank PO, then I will clear SSC. Now, understand one thing very clearly. In life, if you have the multiple goals, कई लक्ष्य अगर आपके जीवन में हो, तो जो सबसे lowest वाला goal होता है, the lowest one that you realize. And you will tell me, sir, इसमें risk नहीं involved है? I will tell you, why risk is not involved. That I will come to you later. But right now, stay with this idea that you should have one clear-cut goal in your life. If that is there, you are already, you're about to win. You are a winner. In that case, whatever you wish to achieve, that you will achieve. So what I want all of you to do is that tonight or immediately after the webinar, buy a notebook and write on the notebook a big heading, goal book. That will be a book where you will, notebook where you will write your goals, and write there that I will become an IAS or IPS officer, whatever you wish to become in 2022, 23, 24, whenever you are taking the examination, write there. After writing there, write the reasons why do you want to become an IAS officer. You will say it's not such a big thing, but I will tell you, your mind, as a mind power trainer, which is I do a lot of programming, training on NLP and mind power. Understand, this is something which makes a huge difference in my life. So write your goal, and not only write your goal, write reasons why do you want to become an IAS or IPS officer. Bigger the reasons, greater the probability of success. Will you all do this? Will you write your goal? Write in the chat box, yes, I'm waiting for your answer. Vaishali says yes, Sudeep yes, Mansi yes. Very good, Shrey, Anand said, great, Shivam. I know all of you are such a bright students, Rohit, Shivam Tyagi, Sachin Kumar, and so on and so forth. You do it and write reasons, and you will have a variety of reasons that why should you become an IAS officer. But I will just tell you one story which happened, and I have shared this story umpteen times during my webinar, and hear me out. I was sitting in my office just doing some work on my laptop, and I got a call from Lucknow, a girl who had already become an IAS officer. She was excited and she told me, sir, I'm very happy. Can you make a guess why I am happy? मैंने कहा यार, you should be happy. आप IAS बन गए हो, आपका ट्रेनिंग खत्म हो गया है, you're waiting for your posting. She said, sir, वो तो पुरानी बात हो गई है. Make another guess. I said, maybe you're getting married. She said, no, sir, marriage is not on the cards. मैंने कहा देखो, third guess मत करवाना, you tell me. And what she told me is very important, and I want you to hear me out carefully. She told me I have become boss of my father. Now understand how it has happened. If you do not qualify today UPSC Civil Services, and you qualify, let's say, state level services like Uttar Pradesh State Service Commission, Bihar State Public Service Commission, Rajasthan State Public Service Commission. If you qualify, and if 23, 24 years ends, your son or daughter becomes IAS, he or she will become your boss. This is a difference between between an IAS officer and in any other kind of job. That is why UPSC's Civil Services examination conducted by UPSC is considered to be the best job in the country. I go to different organizations for training, and I'm talking about top MNCs. There are also people, the age group of 35, 40, normally they come to me and tell me, Alok sir, पहले नहीं पता था कि IAS भी कोई नौकरी होती है. We were very good students, हमने engineering भी किया है, MBA भी किया है, ठीक से exam दिया होता है. And while I was training, scientists, even I thought they must be the, most satisfied community, but they also have a small complaint, and that is science and technology is also an IAS officer. So, since you are very young, I will not talk to you in this language when you will be 35 years old or 40 years old. Then I will talk to you about different kind of management techniques and other points I will discuss. But today I am telling you, don't miss this opportunity. और अगर छोड़ना ही है कि नहीं भी करना है तो पहले IAS बन जाओ फिर छोड़ देना. But take this exam. Prepare for this exam. This is absolutely important. And different kind of people keep on, I keep getting umpteen number of calls every day. So there are people who doubt on themselves. They are good students, but they doubt. Now this exam is a great leveler. Understand this. This exam is a great leveler. On the one hand, you will have students like you, students from IIT, स्टूडेंट्स फ्रॉम स्टीफेंस, और फिर दूसरी तरफ गोरखपुर, मुजफ्फरपुर, समस्तीपुर, दिस काइंड ऑफ एरिया से भी स्टूडेंट्स कम एंड क्वालिफाई. You know why it happens? This exam is a great leveler, but what I am trying to drive home the point over here, that if you have two hands, two legs, two eyes, ध्यान से सुन लीजिएगा, it's all a question. Mindset precedes any kind of strategy. आप एक चीज समझिए, इस चीज को आप समझने की कोशिश कीजिए. अगर आपके पास दो हाथ, दो आंख और दो पांव है, तो you can achieve any goal in your life. I met Arunima Sinha about 2 years ago, and she does not have two legs, and yet she has climbed Mount Everest. So I asked her that when she told her mother that for the first time, when she told her mother first time that she would like to climb Mount Everest, तो उसकी माँ ने क्या जवाब दिया? तो उसकी माँ ने बोला कि अभी तो तुम्हारे दो पाँव नहीं है. Now it seems you have lost your mind also. That girl was full of determination. और वो संकल्प शक्ति की दृढ़ता, solid determination made her achieve what she wanted to achieve. So you should be very determined, और आपको गोल इसलिए क्लियर होना चाहिए. I remember, I was doing workshop with IAS topper, one of IAS topper, Ashima Mittal. She had a 12th rank pan India, and she was an engineer from IIT Mumbai. She qualified in the second attempt. She said, sir, जब मैंने first attempt में नहीं qualify किया, तो अगली बार मैंने एक डायरी खरीदी और उसमें मैंने लिख लिया कि I will be among the first 20 toppers. And lo and behold, the very next year she had a 12th rank. So understand, you need to tell your mind exactly what you wish to achieve in your life. That will make a huge difference. And also, never stay in a state of uncertainty. ये आज आप मेरे से सीख करके जाइए, बहुत important है. Our mind has two parts: conscious mind and subconscious mind. And subconscious mind covers 90% of your function of the mind, and 10% is only the conscious mind. जब आप स्टेट ऑफ अनसर्टेनिटी में होते हैं, तो आपका सबकॉन्शियस माइंड काम करना शुरू बंद कर देता है. जैसे मान लीजिए फैक्ट्री में 100 वर्कर काम कर रहे हैं, तो 90 वर्कर्स विल स्टॉप वर्किंग. आप इस तरह से समझिए, एंड यू विल बी वर्किंग ओनली विद 10 वर्कर. सो नेवर बी अनश्योर. You say to yourself, talk to yourself that this is my goal, and no matter what, I will achieve this goal. Once you say this, amazing things will happen. Okay. Now I will request Praveen, Chirag, Deepa, whoever is there, to run a video. Praveen and Chirag, are you there?
Yes, sir. Chirag will do the needful.
All right. So I'm just taking a pause, and you can do the needful.
Sure, sir.
I hope you guys are enjoying.
Anna, who is currently?
Yes, sir.
Who is the DIG of Traffic Police? Please give them all a very, very warm hand.
ये आपकी 3 स्टेज होंगी. प्रीलिम्स, मेंस, इंटरव्यू. इससे पहले के आपके क्वेश्चन क्या हो सकते हैं, ये तो आपकी एग्जाम की हो गई. इससे पहले का क्या है, साहब मैंने 10th किया हुआ है, 12th किया हुआ है, मेरे मार्क्स कम आए थे, मैं इस एग्जाम में क्लियर कर सकता हूँ. ये क्वेश्चन है किसी के दिमाग में? अगर किसी का है तो 10th 12th में अगर किसी कुछ भी मार्क्स आए हो, उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. ठीक है, इस एग्जाम आपके ग्रेजुएशन में जितने मार्क्स आए उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. तो मेरा जो बैकग्राउंड था वो मैंने बीएससी किया, बदायूं का रहने वाला हूँ. ठीक है, एक बहुत छोटी डिस्ट्रिक्ट है यूपी में, और वहां से मेरा पीसीएम था. फिर मैंने एमएससी किया, एमएससी बीच में छोड़ा, दिल्ली गया, दिल्ली में प्रिपरेशन किया. केमिस्ट्री ऑप्शनल था, अच्छी प्रिपरेशन थी. दिल्ली पहुंचे तो वहां ऐसे लोग जो वहां पे 8-8 साल से तैयारी कर रहे हैं, जो आज तक कभी प्रीलिम्स नहीं निकाल पाए, उन्होंने मुझे बताया कि ये एग्जाम में क्या करना है. और चूंकि मुझे कुछ नहीं पता था, मैंने उनकी बात मानी. वो जो टीचर थे वो भी इस पे यकीन करते थे कि भाई 15-16 घंटे से कम में तो बच्चा बन ही नहीं सकता. तो वो भी सुबह 6:30 बजे बुलाते थे और रात को 9 साढ़े 9 बजे तक क्लास। अच्छा, इसी वजह से शायद वो कुछ नहीं हो पाए। ठीक है, उन्होंने 15 घंटे पढ़ाया, मुझे कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा था, टाइम पास चल रहा था। एक महीने बाद उन्होंने मुझे बुलाया और कहा कि केवल तुमसे नहीं हो पाएगा। तो जब उन्होंने कहा कि नहीं हो पाएगा, तब मैंने उस प्रोसेस को समझना शुरू किया, पेपर्स निकाले, उसका पैटर्न देखा, सब कुछ किया। उसके बाद ज्योग्राफी में सेकंड हाईएस्ट मार्क्स उसमें भी आए ऑल ओवर इंडिया, जिसमें कुछ नहीं पता था और मुझे आज भी कुछ नहीं पता है। जब एग्जाम लिखा था तब भी सिर्फ उतना पता था जितना मेंस के लिए जरूरत था, जितना मुझे मार्क्स लाने। ये दिमाग में क्लैरिटी थी कि मुझे बनना है, सिलेक्शन लेना है और उसके बाद जो मेरा इंटरेस्ट होगा उसको बनने के बाद फॉलो करना है। तो इस यूपीएससी का अगर आप एम कर रहे हो तो आपको वो सब्जेक्ट उठाना है जो आपके लिए स्कोरिंग, जिससे मार्क्स आते हैं। अब मार्क्स आते हैं, इस पर अलग थ्योरी। कई लोग क्या कहते हैं कि साहब जो यूपीएससी है वो स्केलिंग करती है, पता किसी को नहीं है। वो यूपीएससी में कोई रिलेटिव किसी का नहीं बैठा हुआ, वो यूपीएससी आपको आरटीआई में इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं देती, अब स्केलिंग होती है, आप उसमें मार्क्स कम कर लेते हैं, वो टीचर होता है वो बेवकूफ होता है। ठीक है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं। यूपीएससी सबसे ज्यादा ऑब्जेक्टिव एग्जाम इस दुनिया का है। मैंने 4 बार चौथी अटेम्प्ट में क्लियर किया, 37 रैंक थी मेरी ऑल ओवर इंडिया। मेंस में मैं सेकंड हाईएस्ट थे, अपने बैच में आईपीएस में टॉप किया। मुझसे बहुत ज्यादा इंटेलिजेंट लोग थे जो मेरे साथ प्रिपरेशन कर रहे थे, जिनका नहीं हो पाया, लेकिन उस एग्जाम को समझ के मैं यहाँ पे पहुंच पाया। तो उसमें इस पूरे उसमें कई लोग बताने वाले थे, उल्टा सीधा गाइड करने वाले थे, डीमोटिवेट करने वाले थे। तो उस फेज की भी 2 बार इंटरव्यू पास की और सिर्फ फाइनल जो अटेम्प्ट था उसमें मेरा सिलेक्शन। और इस सिलेक्शन का जो एक वो था जिसमें मुझे सबसे बड़ी एक चीज गाइड करती रही, मैं बार-बार इतना पास से वापस आते हुए भी, वो एक चीज ये थी कि मैं बन सकता हूँ, मुझे बनना है। तो इस समय में जब मैं प्रिपरेशन कर रहा था तो मेरी फैमिली में उस समय कुछ फैमिली रिलेटेड प्रॉब्लम्स भी थी, वो एक अलग हुआ है। लेकिन जब आप प्रिपरेशन कर रहे होगे तो आपको कोई आइडिया लेकिन वो नहीं मिलने वाला कि साहब सब चीजें मेरे लिए ठीक हो जाए तब मैं तैयारी करूंगा, तब बनूंगी या बनूंगा, कोई ऐसा नहीं है। तो यूपीएससी आपको कैसे पालन करती है, अपना खुद का पता नहीं बता रहा हूँ आपको। 4 घंटे जब मेरा नहीं मुझे नहीं आई, मैंने दीवार पे सर मारा, ठीक है, कि किसी तरीके से फेल हुआ कि नहीं आया, कुछ होना बहुत जरूरी है। पूरा मैंने 3-4 लाइनें बोले भूलाऊंगा, मैंने अपना पूरा पेपर खराब कर दिया। क्या 12th की पढ़ाई से घबराने की जरूरत है? सभी लोग की पढ़ी होगी थोड़ी बहुत, सभी लोग की पढ़ी होगी। घबराने की जरूरत तब थी जब ये होता कि जो एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया है वो तो ग्रेजुएट है, लेकिन पेपर जो है वो पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट लेवल का है, तब तो घबराने की जरूरत थी। जब यूपीएससी साफ साफ कहता है अपने सिलेबस में कि 12th तक का चाहिए, ठीक, सारे टॉपर्स कहते हैं कि एनसीईआरटी की बुक्स 12th तक की पढ़नी है, तो उसमें घबराने की जरूरत क्या? अब ये क्वेश्चन यूपीएससी ने क्यों पूछा, इसका क्या पर्पस रहा? आपकी नॉलेज चेक करना। अगर नॉलेज चेक करना होता तो ये 2 ऑप्शन नहीं देते, 2 और डिफिकल्ट ऑप्शन देते आपको ऑप्टिकल डिवीजन के, तो आपको पता ही नहीं होता, आप सॉल्व नहीं कर पाते। यूपीएससी में क्या चेक करना है, उसने क्वेश्चन के अंदर ही आपको आंसर दे दिया। अब इसमें टाइम कैसे बचता है? फिर इसके बाद ये बढ़ना शुरू किया, साइज ऑफ द सन, थर्ड पे पहुंचे, मून बीइंग विजिबल एट अराउंड, देखा यार ये तो नहीं हो सकता, ये नहीं हो सकता। सीधे चौथा 5वां पढ़े बिना, क्योंकि ये नहीं हो सकता, इस पे शिफ्ट कर गए।
Yes, sir. Please continue.
All right. So how was the video? You got some insight from directly from a DIG, Uttarakhand. All right. So, okay, let me see some of the answer. Fantastic, nice. Okay, great, fine. So while I was speaking to a very senior IAS officer about 2 days ago, and he told me something very important, and I totally agree with him. He told me, why you are no longer present. Is my PPT visible?
Yes, sir, it is.
Hello? Okay. So, somebody is also, has clicked here the presentation button. So, nobody else should present it. Otherwise, it becomes a bit of problem. Okay. about IQ, intelligence quotient. We talk about EQ, emotional quotient. There is also something very important which is called adaptability quotient. लोग बोलते हैं ये एग्जाम डिफिकल्ट है. देखिए ये एग्जाम डिफिकल्ट नहीं है. Let's not get into that debate. What is different is that the university exam and civil services exam, they are two different things. So you have to adapt yourself. And I always ask one question from my students.
Sir, the PPT
That when
is
you
not
buy
visible.
medicine, I keep on withdrawing and then I do. Now is it visible? Is it visible now?
Yes, sir. Now it's visible.
All right, so fine.
Yes, sir.
So I always ask students that in case you buy medicine, what do you check? And I'm waiting for your answer to check that when you have to buy medicine, what do you exactly check? Let me see some of you. What do you say?
Expiry date.
Very nice, expiry date. So exactly, you know, the human beings also have the expiry date. Your class 10th, you can't pass the 12th exactly in the same way. And the way you have cleared your engineering exam and the way you have cleared your engineering, they all require different strategy. So this particular exam requires different kind of strategy and you need to adapt yourself. And we will go ahead and see what is there to adapt. I have already discussed with you the goal factor. Let me go ahead. Planning, we'll go ahead this also. While I have not changed the, okay. So the perception is that the exam is very difficult. Around 10 lakh plus students take this exam. और मेरा होगा या नहीं होगा under the such scenario. Now let me make it very clear to you why 10 lakh plus students appear. There is no fees for female candidates, means that any girl can apply, any graduate girl who has done can apply for this exam without any cost. Boys have to pay only 100 rupees. Now when you pay, when you don't have the fees, then people start applying for it. And there is also a lot of social prestige attached with it. So especially if you come from a Hindi heartland, apply for it. Why? Because this exam is very, I can see some of your screen is not available. It's visible. So what is the reality? Is it visible? It's not visible. Praveen Chirag, can you respond me back? Is my screen visible?
Can you please just present this again? Like, can you please present it again?
एक मिनट, just a minute. Is it now visible?
सर एक बार stop sharing करके उसके बाद सर एक बार try करिए please.
Okay, stop sharing. Is it now? Just a minute. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Now visible. Yes, sir.
Fine, great. So that is how 10 lakh plus people apply, because there is no cost of applying and social prestige attached to it. Now, we prepare this entire 10 lakh plus students do not prepare. 50% of them appears for prelims. So prelims itself has not more than 5 lakh students. And I will tell you the truth. The truth is that the actual competition is only among 75,000 students. Note it down. Fighters, if you see the real competition, is only among 25,000 students. So if you feel on the basis of number that this exam is very difficult, it is misplaced. There are many people who will keep telling you this exam is very difficult. First, you should secure your future and all that. Just don't get carried away. The logic, and you know, we don't live life scientifically at times. What is scientific? Scientific life means that I know that in the past, what are the methods followed by students who qualified? Number one, And number two is, can those methods or steps I can emulate? If I can emulate, it becomes a scientific method. So there are certain methods for this examination. And first, what I have discussed with you is all about mindset. It's all about thinking very big. It's all about setting goal. It's all about writing reasons. These things, you are absolutely ready. And then be very scientific. Don't have that mumbo jumbo methodology. Exam बहुत difficult है, मेरा होगा नहीं होगा, whether my good fortune is there or not, मेरा my stars are not in my favor. Get rid of all this bullshit. It will not work. We will see as we go ahead. Not the choice of optional. I'll discuss this also. But before this, I want to discuss. Understand this point. It's very important. Studying versus learning. What is the difference? Let's say you want to swim and I buy you a book where they say throw first right hand, then left hand, then right leg, then left leg. Do you think you can swim? You cannot. The answer is, आपको पानी में कूदना पड़ेगा तैरने सीखने के लिए. आप साइकिलिंग करिए, कार ड्राइविंग कीजिए, कुछ भी कीजिए. Yes, you're right, Yogesh and others who has said. So you will have to do that. So similarly, in civil service examination, your method of study will be different. Your concept should be crystal clear. पहला बात ये ध्यान रखिए. The other day, a father walked into my office and he told me, Alok, big library. I asked, आपके इतने अच्छे ख्यालात कैसे आए? उन्होंने जवाब दिया, मेरा बेटा जब IAS के एग्जाम की तैयारी कर रहा है तो फिर तो बहुत सारे बुक्स खरीदने होंगे. Now there cannot be a greater mistake than this. Now hear me out. You can note it down. The most important thing is to read one book 10 times instead of reading 10 books one time. आपका concept clear होना चाहिए. You will have a multiple choice questions in prelims or mains में भी 100-150 words, 200 words maximum. आपको choice मिलेगा, ज़्यादा लिखने का जगह ही नहीं है. So आपको concept बिल्कुल clear होना चाहिए. And when the concept is not clear, then what happens? When the concept is not clear, write what is asked. You write what you know. I was speaking to a very senior person of civil services who told me that most of the people, 90% students, do not understand what is the question. And if you don't understand the question, what will happen? You will write something which is off the mark. So it's quite important. So in this examination, understand one thing. Another point what I'm making. First point I told you, read one book 10 times. And the second point is, you will have to do a tremendous amount of writing practice. Unless you don't do tremendous amount of writing practice and get it checked by your teacher, it will not happen. There are many people, many students, good students, they don't want to take help. And that is a problem area. अगर आपको जीवन में कुछ सीखना है ना, सीखना पड़ेगा. You will have to take help. So I'll tell you a small story. I knew a student who was working with Infosys, a bright young engineer. And after 15 days, he resigned from Infosys without telling his father. So after a couple of days, the father and the son was in my office. So asked the son, why did you resign? Sir, मुझे ऐसा लगा कि Infosys के कैंपस पे मेरे आइडेंटिटी is questionable. क्योंकि 15,000 लोग उस वक्त थे, the year in which he qualified. So I asked, what do you want to do? Well, I want to prepare for IAS. Okay, so fine, great. Now, hear this story, very powerful. There is a very strong message over here. So 4 students together took a room and they started preparing for the exam. They studied together, they ate together, they watched a movie together. But when the result came out, who had quit Infosys in order to give civil services exam, qualified in the very first attempt. So another day I called him. I keep on asking people that how they have qualified and why they have not qualified, all this such questions. मैंने उसको बुला के पूछा कि बताइए कि 4 फ्रेंड्स आप लोग एक साथ थे, सिर्फ आप क्वालिफाई किए, क्या हो गया? What happened with you, rest of the people? And what he said is something very interesting. He said, sir, when you will come in my room, you will see that I have filled up 35-40 registers. मैंने खूब आंसर प्रैक्टिस किया और आंसर प्रैक्टिस करने के बाद मैंने टीचर से चेक कराया. Now this second part is also very important. चेक कराया and he told me कि his friends assumed examination hall में जाएंगे और वहां पर जाकर के they will be able to write the answer. ऐसा होता नहीं है. Examination hall is not a place for doing the experimentation. सारा काम आपको घर पे करना पड़ेगा, लिखना पड़ेगा when you are not in the examination hall, when you are at home. So I always say, when you study a book, it doesn't mean you understand it. And when you understand the book, it doesn't mean that you will be able to write it. And even when you will be able to write it, it doesn't mean you will be able to write it to the level of civil services. So likhiye, practice in a right direction is very important. People say practice makes one perfect. No, practice does not make one perfect. Practice in a right direction makes it. So you have to keep these things in mind when you are preparing for this examination. Lot of practice, and if you follow these kind of methodology, there you will become literally unstoppable. And I know your college, the kind of students are there. आप तो ऐसे भी you are very bright, so you can all go ahead. बस थोड़ा सा mindset and थोड़ा सा strategy पर आपको work करना पड़ेगा. Now understand, syllabus is the starting point, and you will say, oh, we know that syllabus तो जानना ही होगा. But let me tell you, 90% students don't know what the syllabus is. Browsing the syllabus and understanding the syllabus, they are two different things. Experiment with the students. मैं उनको एक बार syllabus दे देता हूँ और उनको बोलता हूँ, यार जरा आपको समझ में आ गया? Yes sir, बिल्कुल समझ में आ गया syllabus. Actually समझ में नहीं आता है. देखिए syllabus आपको बार-बार पढ़ना पड़ेगा. And there is a word which I love to call, that is a micro management of syllabus. Detail में syllabus समझना पड़ेगा, and you should take the help of a teacher, faculty, or an IAS officer if there is in the family, to understand exactly what the syllabus is. Your syllabus is your Gita, it's your Quran, it's your Bible. बिना syllabus के आप निकल नहीं सकते. देखिए, I have done workshop with almost all the IAS toppers, and one thing I have realized very clearly, that all these toppers keep the syllabus pasted in their room. या तो वो डेस्क पर रखते हैं या जिस बेडरूम में दीवार पर पोस्ट कर लेते हैं. Why? या लैपटॉप पे रखिए और इसको बार-बार देखिए. See it again and again. I was speaking to a student who had qualified in the 5th attempt. और 5th attempt में भी qualify करना कोई मजाक नहीं है. It's not that easy. So I asked him, just out of curiosity, how come you did, how you took so much time? He said, sir, मैंने 3rd attempt के बाद I understood 2 things. मैंने कहा क्या समझा आपने? कि एक तो syllabus बहुत important है और दूसरा है guidance देने की जरूरत है. लेकिन अगर आप मेथड नहीं फॉलो करेंगे, and what I call those methods scientific steps, अगर आप उसको नहीं फॉलो करेंगे, you will not qualify. It's as simple. And if you follow that method, there is nothing in the world which will stop you. So syllabus is the starting point. And when you get the syllabus, don't have that feeling I have understood it. Take time, keep patience. You will understand. And I'll take you through the syllabus also. Now, there is always this thought process कि optional क्या ले? आपके दिल में भी ये ख्याल होगा, optional क्या ले? Tell you something. My experience tells me you should not be in a hurry to take optional. पहले आप जनरल स्टडीज की तैयारी शुरू कीजिए. जब आप तैयारी करने लगेंगे तो देयर इज वन सब्जेक्ट विच विल रेजोनेट विथ यू, जिस सब्जेक्ट को पढ़ के आपको बहुत मजा आएगा. टेक दैट सब्जेक्ट एज एन ऑप्शनल. देखिए, द ओनली क्राइटेरिया फॉर टेकिंग ऑप्शनल इज that you should love that subject, you should enjoy studying that subject. Now, the thumb rule is that you should take the subject in which you have done your graduation. Now, having said that, let me tell you, most of the engineers don't take engineering as an optional. Start preparing for GS, and the majority of them take geography as an optional, because geography has a scientific flavor. Okay, so this is very important. And the next important thing is that don't keep your eyes closed. You may find polity to be more interesting. Take polity. You may find sociology to be more interesting. Reasons why it's very important to love the subject is because, may God forbid, in case you do not qualify in the first attempt, or maybe you have got the lower position and you want to improve your position, so you should be able to read that subject again and again, again and again. You should not feel tired. That's the idea. So the choice of optional is critical. Any question you have, please write in the chat box. I will wait for your answer about the clarity of the optional syllabus and any other thing. I am waiting for your answer. You can write here in the chat box. All of you, anybody? Absolutely crystal clear. There is another question always asked. Sir, सबसे ज्यादा scoring optional क्या है? Got their own methodology, जिसपे you cannot decide कि कौन सा subject आपको. Let me see this question now. I'm very clear about optional. Thanks, Yogesh. Very nice, Yogesh.
Sir, there is one question regarding optional. Like I used to watch a lot of videos, so they said अगर आपका background जैसे science background है कोई भी, तो किसी भी background के लिए the one optional that is suitable is sociology. So what is your recommendation onto it?
बहुत सारे वीडियोस के ऊपर ना आप बहुत ज्यादा डिपेंड नहीं ना करें. पहला एडवाइस ये है आपको, बिकॉज देयर आर लॉट ऑफ वीडियोस गोइंग ऑन इन द मार्केट. अंडरस्टैंड वन थिंग, यू शुड लव दैट सब्जेक्ट. आपको मजा आना चाहिए. दैट सब्जेक्ट शुड रेजोनेट विद यू. अगर आप वो सब्जेक्ट रेजोनेट कर रहा है तो बहुत अच्छा है. और साइंस, आई हैव सीन, एंड यू कैन चेक एनीवेयर एल्स आल्सो, most of the engineering or science background students go for geography for the only reason that it has a scientific flavor. So don't get you. When I'm saying you go for geography, doesn't mean that I am asking you to go for geography. That is one of the pattern observed. अब आपको पॉलिटी पढ़ने में मजा आ रहा है, हिस्ट्री पढ़ने में मजा आ रहा है, take history, no problem. If you are very comfortable with mechanical engineering, fine, take it. इंग्लिश लिटरेचर में मजा आ रहा है, डोंट टेक इट. द सब्जेक्ट यू शुड रेजोनेट. एक चीज और ध्यान रखिएगा, जिस सब्जेक्ट को आप चुनते हैं एज एन ऑप्शनल, वहां उस सब्जेक्ट का गाइडेंस भी होना बहुत जरूरी है. सो दैट इज देयर इज वन क्वेश्चन आई वांटेड टू सी. एनीवे, I will ask somebody to read that question later on. It just went off. So this choice of optional is critical. I'm sure you are done with it. The only one criteria, the subject should resonate with you, and you should take this optional while you are preparing for general studies. Don't be in a hurry कि BA engineering first year or graduation के second year में decide कर लिया. No, don't be in a hurry. Hang on. See how you are shaping up. That's the key. All right, can I go ahead? So I will now discuss with you studying versus learning. I have done choice of optional perception. So I will come down. Just give me a minute. Okay. Now another popular question is which newspaper to read, Well, I guess most of you know the answer. Hindu or Indian Express is the best. आई एम श्योर आपके कॉलेज में शायद हिंदी मीडियम के लोग नहीं होंगे, लेकिन अगर कोई हिंदी मीडियम का है तो वो जनसत्ता इज गुड. नाउ अनदर डे मैं एनडीटीवी पर आई वाज वाचिंग अ प्रोग्राम वेयर आईएएस टॉपर्स वर कॉल्ड. डाइग्रेसिंग फ्रॉम द टॉपिक. सो जो हिंदी मीडियम स्टूडेंट है, द टॉपर ऑफ द हिंदी मीडियम हैज गॉट 274th रैंक. और मेरे ऊपर मत डिपेंड कीजिए, मैं आपको जो आप गूगल में भी चेक कर लीजिएगा, अगर आपका माध्यम हिंदी है देन इट्स द लास्ट कपल ऑफ इयर्स का ट्रेंड शो कर रहा है कि स्टूडेंट्स आर नॉट क्वालिफाइंग, नॉट इवन 1% द रिजल्ट इज. सो दोज ऑफ यू हु आर परसुइंग हिंदी मीडियम के थ्रू जाना चाहते हैं, दैट गो थ्रू दैट चेंज योर मीडियम. इंग्लिश सीखना उतना भी डिफिकल्ट नहीं है. We are, we do a lot of work for the students who are weak in English, who are weak in English, and this English can be improved within, 2.5 to 3 months period of time. Now coming to, a lot of questions. Let me minimize my slide. Do we need to read? I will come to it. Yeah, I will tell you. So, Hindu or Indian Express? Normally, I require between the two. If you ask me personally, as Alok Kumar, I will tell you to read Hindu for one reason. All your comprehension passages जो CSAT में आते हैं, वो हिंदू से लिया जाता है, उसका वो copy paste होता है. So you become more and more familiar with it. That's the point. Okay, of course, newspaper reading में confusion आपका कम तब होगा जब आपको syllabus पता रहेगा. Otherwise, you will keep on, सुशांत सिंह के साथ क्या हो रहा है, आई हैव अ पर्सनल सिंपैथी विद इट, लेकिन यूपीएससी के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से इट डजंट मेक सेंस. या किस सम काइंड ऑफ अदर काइंड ऑफ क्राइम, उस पर टाइम देने से फायदा नहीं है. देयर वर फ्यू क्वेश्चंस. सो एनीवे, somebody can simultaneously keep telling me the question जो सवाल है, because I'm not able to free say it.
Sir,
Okay,
yes sir. Round after your speech, so we can discuss the questions particularly in that session. So you can continue with the next.
okay. So, newspaper is critical for the success of this examination. 2/3 of your preparation depends on the newspaper. Current affairs और आपका पॉलिटी हो गया, and science and technology and other subject where your latest update is very important. क्या चेंज हो रहा है, and what is the Supreme Court का judgment क्या आ रहा है. So all these things are very relevant from the examination perspective. So you need to read newspaper every day, and reading one newspaper is good enough. I have seen students buying 2-3 newspapers. Please, इतना ज़्यादा मेहनत मत कीजिए, इतना हार्ड वर्क करने का जरूरत नहीं है. One newspaper where you devote 90 to 120 minutes is good enough. And whenever you read the newspaper, आप हाथ में पेन लेकर के पढ़िए, पेन लेके पढ़ना शुरू करिए. There should be pen in hand, and you should mark what is important and what is not important. Somebody had asked me notes बनाना चाहिए या नहीं बनाना चाहिए. Let me tell you, you just make a few pointers, because साल के अंत में, let's say कि 365 or 400 days एग्जाम में बाकी है, it will become unmanageable. Points लिखिए, and Game Changer provide their own resources, very nice resources. I have personally seen them. They are very nice. So you can go through those articles also, what the Game Changer keeps on providing you. All right. So newspaper is critical. आप एक बात को याद रखिए. Choose between Hindi and between Indian Express and the Hindu. Personally recommend the Hindu is better, and you can also go through the sources of Game Changer. They have done some amazing work in it. Now, there is another, I don't think the slide is there, but I need to discuss. Before I discuss with you concentration, memory and focus, it has become extremely fashionable to say, yes, की तैयारी शुरू कर दी है और NCERT का बुक पढ़ना शुरू कर दिया है. You see, 2013 onwards, the pattern of exam has changed. And except for history, up to some extent, NCERT is useful. Otherwise, the quality of question is higher than that of NCERT. So if you feel that by studying NCERT, maybe you can give a start to yourself that way. But if you think that by reading NCERT, you are preparing for IAS, those days have gone very clearly. So you need to have the updated resources, updated books on this. And I was just going a couple of days ago, the books of Game Changer, they have got all the resources. You need to, you can go through them. That is one of your options. Otherwise, read book of a little higher standard than NCERT. That will really help you. Okay. Now, you know, this year prelims is scheduled on 4th October. And what will start happening 15th September onwards, and this happens every year, I will start getting phone calls कि सर पढ़ने के बाद भी ऐसा महसूस होता है कि मैंने कुछ नहीं पढ़ा है, and I have taken a very wise step. मैं पूछता हूँ what is that wise step? सर मैंने डिसाइड किया है ना कि अगले साल एग्जाम दूंगा. So now understand this thing, and अगले साल फिर वही प्रॉब्लम आएगा. So what I'm going to tell you right now is very important from your right now, whether you are doing your engineering, management, science, whatever you are doing, it will be very important. Understand, the science of mind tells you there is a certain method of studying. Third, when somebody comes and tells me, Alok sir, I studied for 5 hours at a stretch, 5 घंटे मैंने लगातार पढ़ाई किया है. I understand that boy has or girl has studied nothing. You see, what you should do, you should study for 1 hour and give yourself a break for 10 to 15 minutes. उल्टा मत कीजिएगा कि 10-15 मिनट पढ़ लिया, 1 घंटे का ब्रेक दे दिया. 1 घंटे का पढ़िए और 10 से 15 मिनट का ब्रेक दीजिए और फिर आइए और फिर पढ़िए 1 घंटा. When you do like this, your concentration is better, but more than that, important thing is that your mind works better. Learn to handle your mind. And then your concentration becomes better. And the next, another very important thing I would like to tell you is, when you ask a lot of questions from yourself, you enjoy and your concentration is better. देखिए, आपने आज तक सुना होगा स्कूल्स में भी, कॉलेजेस में, कि गुड आंसर इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. मैं थोड़ा आपको इस पैराडाइम शिफ्ट कर रहा हूं, आपके नजरिया को बदल रहा हूं. लिखने के लिए गुड क्वेश्चन, आस्किंग गुड क्वेश्चन इज इंपॉर्टेंट. एक बहुत बड़े मैनेजमेंट थिंकर है पीटर ड्रकर, उन्होंने बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग बोला है, the difference between a Nobel Prize winner and a normal person is only one. The Nobel Prize winner asks bigger and better questions. So I will reframe it for you. That aspirants ask bigger and better questions. तो आप जितना क्वेश्चन पूछेंगे ना, उतना आपको पढ़ने में मजा आएगा. पहले आप टॉपिक को पढ़ लीजिए, टेक ब्राउज थ्रू इट, एक छोटा सा आइडिया ले लीजिए, एंड देन आस्क लॉट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस एंड ट्राई टू आंसर योरसेल्फ, एंड देन रेफर टू बुक. आपको पढ़ने में बहुत मजा आएगा. Up now the third question, the second important point is कि how do I memorize? मैं पढ़ता हूं लेकिन भूल जाता हूं, and it will happen especially with civil services because the syllabus is very big. Now I am giving you a data, understand, which science has discovered. It's not my observation. You remember 10% of what you read. You remember 20% of what you hear. You remember 50% of what you see and hear. तो अगर आप ऑनलाइन किसी टीचर को बोलते और पढ़ाते देखते हैं तो आपको 50% याद रहेगा. 70% याद रहेगा when you discuss with others, but you will remember 95% of what you teach. अब इसको ध्यान से समझिए, इसको आप याद सीख करके जाइए. आप ऐसे पढ़िए कि आपको किसी को पढ़ाना है. When you do that, something amazing happens. The depth of that subject gets into the cell of your body. आपको भूलना मुश्किल हो जाएगा. And then एग्जाम देते वक्त आप बहुत enjoy करोगे लाइफ को. So if you want to have a depth, the command over the subject, and I always use the word command जब सिविल सर्विसेज की बात होती है, कि आपके सब्जेक्ट पर अगर कमांड हो गया तो फिर मजा आ जाएगा. और कमांड के लिए You will have to, आपके घर में कोई पढ़ाने के लिए नहीं है तो डोंट वरी, दीवार को पढ़ाइए, कुर्सी को पढ़ाइए, टेबल को पढ़ाइए. आप इस नजरिए से पढ़िए कि पढ़ाने का फायदा हो. आपको पता है तो जब एक टीचर पढ़ाते हैं तो सबसे ज्यादा फायदा किनको होता है? आपके टीचर को होता है. उनका और डेप्थ बढ़ जाता है. So when you will study with the perspective that you have got to teach somebody, you will have a firm command over the subject. इतना अगर आप करना शुरू कर दीजिए तो यू विल बी वेरी comfortable with. Now the question is, this question is relevant from IS perspective. Faculty कैसे choose करें? You know, the coaching institute is mushrooming everywhere. क्या करना चाहिए? Remember, आप देखिए कि जो अब कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट है, इज इट गवर्नड? गवर्निंग मेंबर्स जो हैं, आर दे IAS IPS? खुद एग्जाम देकर के उन्होंने खुद क्लियर किया है या नहीं? Are they the people behind the books? Are they people behind the general studies का जो material बनाया जाता है? If they are not there, it doesn't make sense. Plus, faculty should have a deep insight, ताकि उनको पता होना चाहिए कि एग्जामिनेशन के पर्सपेक्टिव से what is relevant to study. If that happens, only then you can choose. At this point of time, before I take the syllabus, can I request Praveen and Chirag to run the second video also?
Sure, sir.
Please run the second video.
तो हमारे साथ सौम्या भी है, और सौम्या यूपीएससी की एस्पिरेंट रही है पहले, कोचिंग भी दिल्ली से करी है। तो सौम्या, कैन यू जस्ट शेयर सम ऑफ योर एक्सपीरियंसेस कि आपको क्या डिफरेंट लगा है देहरादून आके और यहाँ ज्वाइन करके? आपको क्या डिफरेंट लगा है? आपको क्या फर्क नजर आया?
So hi, good afternoon everyone. I'd like to wish good afternoon to all the faculty, to all the students there. To tell you, सबसे पहली बात मैं बताना चाहती हूँ कि जिस तरीके से केवल सर बता रहे थे ना कि दिल्ली जाके धक्के खाए, मैं पिछले 4 साल से दिल्ली में थी। मैंने 4 साल दिल्ली में हर तरीके की कोचिंग को एक्सपीरियंस किया है, हर तरीके के मटेरियल को एक्सपीरियंस किया है, हर तरीके की स्टडी एक्सपीरियंस करके आई हूँ मैं। तो मैंने वहां पे ये नोटिस करा कि वहां पे आपको एक तो पर्सनल गाइडेंस कहीं नहीं मिलेगी, दूसरी चीज आपको दिल्ली में रह के कोई एक्सपोजर इस तरीके का नहीं मिलेगा कि आपके अंदर ऑफिसर लाइक क्वालिटीज क्या होनी चाहिए। गेम चेंजर आपको मैं और एक बात बता दूं, मैंने ये डिसीजन ले लिया था कि मैं यूपीएससी छोड़ दूंगी। वो तो देहरादून आई तो मुझे पता लगा कि गेम चेंजर खुल रहा है, और ज्वाइन करने के बाद अब ये 3rd मंथ हमारा ऑलमोस्ट शुरू होने वाला है। 2-2.5 से ज्यादा महीने हो चुके हैं हम लोगों को, और 2.5 महीने के अंदर अंदर जो प्रिपरेशन की स्ट्रैटेजी होती है उसमें मेरे जमीन आसमान का अंतर आया है। प्रिपरेशन तो कर रही थी, नॉलेज मेरे पास सारी थी, बट मेरे को वो तरीके नहीं आ पा रहे थे कि किस तरीके से चीजों को हैंडल किया जाएगा। यहाँ पे रह के मैंने वो सीखा, मेरे अंदर वो ऑफिसर लाइक क्वालिटीज अब धीरे धीरे, जैसे शशांक सर ने शुरू में बताया कि हम लोग क्लास में आके इंस्टीट्यूट में आके बोलते थे कि हमारे अंदर वो ऑफिसर लाइक क्वालिटीज आनी शुरू हो गई है। वो इसलिए आने लगी है क्योंकि हमारे चारों तरफ ऑफिसर्स ही ऑफिसर्स हैं, और हमारे को वो फीलिंग आती है कि हम लोग एक ऑफिसर हैं। बनने वाले वो अलग बात है, बट हम लोगों को अभी से वो फीलिंग आती है कि हम लोग एक ऑफिसर हैं। क्योंकि क्लास में सर कई बार हम लोगों को ऐसा एक एक्सपीरियंस दिलवाते हैं कि आप खुद ये सोचो कि आप अगर एक ऑफिसर हो, कहीं पे आपको कुछ करना है तो आप उसको कैसे हैंडल कर रहे हो। तो हमारे पास एक तरीके का सिमुलेशन, एक हम लोग सोचते हैं उस चीज को कि कोई एक इंसिडेंट अगर हो जाता है, या हम लोग अगर मान लो एग्जाम क्रैक करके अगर हम लोगों को अपनी लवासना, जो आप लोगों को पता होगा कि प्रिपरेशन के बाद जो आपकी ओरिएंटेशन और बाकी जो आपका ट्रेनिंग होती है वो वहाँ होती है, तो वो सारी चीजें सर हमारे को विजुअली वर्बली एक्सपीरियंस करवाते हैं क्लास में, बहुत मोटिवेट होते हैं। प्लस अगर सूर्यकांत ने जैसे शेयर किया कि आज भी अगर हम लोगों को बोला जाए कि प्रीलिम्स और मेंस लिख के आना है, तो हम दोनों पेपर आराम से जाके लिख के आ सकते हैं और क्रैक कर सकते हैं बहुत आसानी से।
Is it over?
Yes, sir.
All right. So now let's talk something about the examination, which you all must be waiting. Just a minute. Just give me a minute. I will be just starting. I will be talking about the pattern of the exam. So let's look at civil services as a career, which we have been talking. It's a great opportunity to serve the country, an optimization of your potential, a career blend of class, status, and power, and assured leadership for 30-35 years. So it was always very attractive, but it has become more attractive, especially in the wake of COVID-19, right? Now, we all know.
Sorry to disturb. You need to share the PPT again.
Come again?
Sir, share the PPT again kindly.
I'm just sharing it. Something is. Let me just a minute. My mouse is giving me a bit of trouble, so just wait for a minute. This is the PPT, Praveen Chirag, whoever spoke to me. So you have understood? Can I go ahead?
Yes, sir.
All right, fine, great. Now understand, there is three. Oh God, just wait. Fine. You all know, it goes without saying, prelims, mains, interview. Prelims में क्या होता है? Multiple choice question आता है. And if you attempt 100%, you will not qualify. So you need to be very selective. And the beauty of this examination is that जब आपको prelims का question देखेंगे तो आपको बड़ा मजा आएगा. And you will feel, oh God, I know all the questions and all the answers. But when you will start answering, you will realize that all the options look same. And the first time you will realize there is a difference between knowing the answer and exactly knowing the answer. When you will see questions, you will filled with respect for the people who set the question for this examination. Mains, is it is a written test, subjective test, and then comes interview. Now, another day I was speaking to a very senior person of Union Public Service Commission, and I asked him, in prelims mein, there are, why do you set 100 questions? What is the reason? He said, देखिए हम उसी वक्त check करते हैं whether that quality to become an IAS officer is there or not. When a young IAS officer joins the office, he has got 100 of the problems. He does not have to be discouraged by the problem. Secondly, he has to understand कि certain problems तुरंत address होगा और कुछ problems को बाद में जाकर के they can solve it. It cannot be solved right now. To attempt for prelims, you see exactly there are 100 problems given to you. And even if you score, 55 to 60, if you score, your seat is assured. You will be called for final for your mains examination. Prelims में आप qualify कर जाइए, आपकी बड़ी इज्जत होगी, because mains में they check every word of yours. So after prelims का हम चलिए syllabus देखते क्या है. General Studies CSAT, आगे चलिए. So what is paper 1? General Studies में क्या क्या पढ़ना होता है? देखिए बहुत, it's not difficult to understand current events of national and international importance. Where here the newspaper becomes the key factor because current events talking about history of India and Indian national movement. और आप खाली history पढ़ लेंगे तो काम नहीं चलेगा, उसको connect करना पड़ेगा with what is happening right now. Indian and world geography, then you will have to study general issues on environment, environmental ecology, biodiversity and climate changes. Climate change, general science. Then you have economic and social development, sustainable development, poverty, inclusion, demographic, social sector initiative, Indian polity and governance, constitution, politics. This is 200 marks का 2 घंटे का आपका पेपर आएगा. I can see a lot of questions. Actually, I can't go through it because PPT के पीछे covered है. So I will go through your questions once I am done my presentation.
Sir, the PPT is not visible.
Oh, PPT is not visible. 1 minute. Just a minute. Is it now visible? No.
Sir, you need to stop sharing once and then share it once again.
I have done the stop sharing, but that option of resuming again is not coming over here. एक minute आप रुको जरा. Let me call also somebody. Just give me 1 minute. I'm just working it out on it. Hello. Hello. एक minute. Actually, entire thing is not visible here. Just give me 1 minute. I'll call you back. You're able to hear me, na, guys? So just wait for a minute. I will be just doing the needful from my end. Keep here. Come. It's not happening again. It's not going to PPT दिखने का. PPT दिख रहा है. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, it is.
It is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you see, I will again go through this syllabus. How much time do I have, Praveen and Chirag?
Sir, I would request you to cut this short.
I'm just cutting short. Okay, just going through the syllabus. So current events of national and international importance, history of, which means current affairs, history of India and Indian national movement, Indian and world geography, general issues on environment, ecology, biodiversity, climate change, general economic and social development, plus Indian polity and governance and general science. 200 marks and for 2 hours. So since I have been asked to cut it short, so I will just very quickly, take you through the paper 2 CSAT, which is comprehension, logical reasoning, decision making, English language comprehension skills. Very easy. You need to pass this examination requirement, but if you don't pass this paper, तो paper 1 check नहीं होगा. तो आपको बस इसमें पास कर जाना है, and then you have the mains exam में, of course, qualifying paper होता है of the Indian language and the English. It's all 25% marks if आपको चाहिए. And then you have you have one essay paper 250 marks ka. Then you have a general studies, paper 1 is Indian heritage and culture. I have done it so that you can remember. You can take a pic from in your mobile if you want to have this. General studies 2 is the governance, constitution, polity, social justice. GS3 is your science and technology, economic development, biodiversity, environment, security and disaster management. And the fourth paper is ethics, integrity and aptitude. So 250 plus 250 आपका कितना हो गया? 1000 हो गया. ऐसे हो गया 250 का 1250. 500 marks का optional हो गया. And then 275 marks का you have the personality test. And I have told you how to choose your optional. Now, I will tell you certain things you need to understand. Just 2 stories which are milestone stories according to me. So hear those stories and it will make a huge difference in your life. Number 1 is that a student from Bihar had walked me a couple of years ago and he told me, and hear these stories very carefully. He asked me, should he take a small clerical job somewhere or he can still aspire to be an IAS officer? Why did he ask this question? His father had lost his money in business and mother was a patient of cancer. So for a moment, I was also taken aback because that guy does not have the financial backing. बहुत ज़्यादा पैसे की ज़रूरत ऐसे भी नहीं होती है, but still I asked him. So that is why I was a little worried that what kind of advice I should go. But I don't know what happened to me. So I told him, एक काम करो, पढ़ते पढ़ते मर जाओ देखा जाएगा. When I said पढ़ते पढ़ते मर जाओ, I did not mean physical death. What I meant was do or die commitment. And that boy who had very average track record, academic sense, घर पे पैसे नहीं था. He kept on studying 1 year, day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out. I mean, the result came out. He did not qualify. He came again and he asked me, "Sir, what should I do?" I told him again, go out with full determination. जो होगा देखा जाएगा. And I'm very happy to share that at the very next year, he became an IPS officer, got posted in Hyderabad. Story number one, you should always remember that guy had everything going against him. Number two story. There was a boy who was taking exam continuously, consistently, and he cleared for first 5 attempts. He was also an engineer. He was clearing exam, लेकिन उनका position आता था 650 or 700. कभी 750 आता था. So he was not willing to take the 5th attempt. So I told him, look, what you should do, that for the coming year, you should aim to be among the first 50 toppers. ध्यान से सुनिएगा. He told me if I will aspire to be among the first 50 toppers, then people will say I'm crazy. हम ले don't care for the public opinion. जितना बड़ा सोचोगे उतना होगा. And then the very next year, he was among the first 10 toppers in the country. So what I am suggesting you as my end remark is, think very big. Have a clear-cut option about your, कि क्या करना है जीवन में, पहले वो decide कर लीजिए. खूब बड़ा सोचिए. Mindset अगर सही होगा, your attitude will be correct, तो आपकी strategy work करेगी. और आपका, you read in Hindu newspaper, you read all the books also, but attitude में अगर problem है, तो that will be a huge problem. Okay, now I will end this seminar with my 4-liners. This is from Robert Frost. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, and I have promises to keep. Miles to go before I sleep. Miles to go before I sleep. So I don't want you to not to sleep, but don't get complacent, and please stay on, because I'm calling a very special person right now. Her name is Shweta Agarwal. She is a life coach and emotional wellness coach for students, helping students to manage stress, relationship, peer pressure of competitive exam. She's associated with Game Changer. So right now I'm inviting Shweta Agarwal. Hear her with full attention.
Hello everyone, and it's a pleasure to be here with all of you. Thank you all for giving me this opportunity of talking to you and connecting with you. Alok ji, thank you for a wonderful presentation. It was a pleasure to hear you as well. Now, guys, आप लोग सब जब से बात कर रहे हो preparation की, but what I feel is the biggest competition you have is with your own self. हर चीज हमसे शुरू होती है. And the minute you think this exam is difficult, you put a very big banner in your brain, difficult. Everything over from there becomes hard for you to follow. The same way, अगर हम ये सोच के बैठे, we are a champion, or I am a champion and I can do it. Everything that you will do will progress from the aspect of a champion. You're already a winner. And from that perspective, काम करना बहुत जरूरी है आपके अपने emotional and mental well-being पर. And therein I come in. But today, my being here is not just to tell you about mental and emotional well-being. It is also to ask you one thing. What are your expectations from the UPSC or the examinations you give? And when we talk about that, we will realize कि बहुत सारी ऐसी चीजें हैं. हम एक्चुअली डरते किससे हैं? हम इससे नहीं डरते कि एग्जाम कैसा आएगा. हम इससे डरते हैं कि एग्जाम अगर ठीक नहीं हुआ तो मेरा रिजल्ट कैसा आएगा. अगर रिजल्ट खराब आएगा तो what is going to happen to my future? What will my family say? What will my friends say? What will then happen? And therein lies the question. Now, I know the time is short and I know we have to close the session fast. So, मैं आप लोगों से बस यही request करूँगी, even if you do not join Game Changer, or even if you do not want to become a UPSC aspirant today, it's okay. If you ever need any support, I'm there for each one of you. Now, can I just call on the head of Delhi Game Changer, Mr. Pranav Agarwal? And I have a few questions for Mr. Agarwal before we hand over the session to Deepa. So, Pranav, can we have you on board, please?
Yes, sure. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Alokji,
Good
for that
afternoon.
wonderful session.
Thank you.
Yes,
So, Pranav, I have a couple of questions.
sure.
Number one, we've all heard about what Alokji's had to say. Now, as students, what is it that you would like to tell them about? What is the difference between Game Changer and any other UPSC or IS IPS coaching center?
All
And what
right.
is it that you predominantly commit to the students?
Okay. So before I answer that question, I actually want to put a question to the forum here and ask students, because I often get asked that question. For clearing the UPSC examination, what does one need to do? तो अगर हम उसी क्वेश्चन को, if I ask you from a different perspective, from a perspective of UPSC, what actually they are looking in their future officers. So if you can just type the qualities or the things that you think is required from the UPSC side. So just let's see, who has that answer. I'm just
Pranav, can you just question once again?
Yes. So I'm asking from a UPSC perspective. UPSC is looking for some qualities in the future officer, right? So I'm asking the forum here, all the students here, what qualities they think is required to become an IAS or an IPS officer.
So what Pranav is asking you all is, what do you think are the qualities that should be there in an IS or an IPS officer? Can you please put it down in the chat? So empathy, problem solving, time management, broad-mindedness, leadership skills, decision-making, leadership. They are looking for a person sensible enough to solve a problem, faced, consistent, hardworking,
Honesty, problem solving. Yes, absolutely. So, yes, still going on problem solving. Yeah. So the whole idea is, if we take your answers there, it's basically UPSC is looking for a holistic approach in their officer. They are not looking for someone who is just a topper in academics, or they are not looking for someone who just clears one exam with full glory. So they are looking for people who are consistent, who are focused, because it's a long process. It's a 1 year examination, as we all know. And if we don't clear any of those stages, we'll have to come back the next year and try from stage one, right? So determination, focus, personality, practicality, how students are thinking in terms of their problem solving approach. So all this matters, and that's what UPSC is looking for. And the reason they're looking for all these qualities in their future officer is because end of the day, that officer is going to look after a district, after the nation. So they will be there to solve problems for lakhs of people, not just for themselves, but this time they have to solve problems for everyone around them. And for that, UPSC wants people who has the right approach. So the purpose of saying all this is, with Game Changer, we have a full-fledged team who is there to guide you on all these aspects, not only just on clearing your prelims or mains, but we are here to make you an officer. एक क्वेश्चन मैं और पूछता हूँ आप लोगों से, अगर आपने बिजनेस करना है तो आप मुकेश अंबानी से बिजनेस करना सीखना चाहोगे कि समवन हु इज नॉट सो सक्सेसफुल? You can just write your answer, Mukesh Ambani or some not so successful person. Same thing, if you have to learn cricket, would you like to learn it from Virat Kohli or someone who is not so well recognized? Exactly, obviously. So that's pretty obvious answers, right? So with Game Changer, we have that luxury, we have the honor, we have the privilege to work with officers who are so passionate, who are there to help students, guide them on a weekly basis, not only on the strategies part, on the personality part. And if you have heard Soumya in her testimonial, she said, 3 months down the line, they are even thinking like an officer. What made it possible? The interaction with officers, the stimulation, the questions that officers were putting in front of them, so that they can face the interview stage with full confidence and being an officer before they actually, get to be one. So this is what Game Changer is promising.
Pranav, does it mean you're trying to tell us here that this is not just about covering the curriculum and studying, but it is also about growing as an individual.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but first of all, I would like to invite VC sir among us. He's here with us, and I would like to welcome him and request him to share his words of wisdom. Sir?
Thank you very much. So first of all, I would like to say thank you to you that you invited me here, especially on this platform where experts are present already. The people who know that what are the fine things which one need to take into account before you actually appear for the UPSC exam. They have experience, and I'm very happy that I have been given an opportunity to talk to you also. So what I can say, you see, just now, recently, when I got this information about the result of 2019, and the topper of that exam was from Dikras Murthal, one simple boy, who did BTech in computer science from that college or from that university, got the first position. So उसने मेरे को ऐसे feel कराया कि if Dikras Murthal can do this kind of thing, why not IMC University? So from that day I was having this kind of feeling कि मेरे को अपने स्टूडेंट के साथ बात करके उनको बोलना है कि यार ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि इम्पॉसिबल है IAS एग्जाम करना, पास करना, ये बड़ा सिस्टमेटिक ढंग से, जैसे आपको अभी एक्सपर्ट बता रहे हैं यहाँ पर सभी लोग, आलोक हैं, प्रणव है, सभी लोग ये बता रहे हैं आपको. सो यू सी व्हाट आई फील कि आज की डेट में IAS, पहले 20 साल 30 साल 40 साल पहले IAS बनने के लिए एक अलग तरह का एनवायरनमेंट हुआ करता था, जब आपको शायद इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज के ऊपर बहुत जोर देना होता था या कुछ और चीजों के ऊपर जोर देना होता था. लेकिन अभी तो बहुत सिस्टमेटिक हो गया है. I know students from rural background, they come and get into first 100 positions quite often. बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स हैं जो बहुत ज्यादा शायद पढ़ाई में इतने अच्छे भी नहीं रहे, लेकिन वो दे आर क्रैकिंग दिस UPSC एग्जाम. तो मेरे को ऐसा लगता है कि हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी में बहुत सारे टैलेंटेड स्टूडेंट अवेलेबल है, लेकिन दे आर नॉट एक्चुअली थिंकिंग अबाउट दिस एग्जाम एट ऑल. वो सोचते हैं कि क्योंकि मैं जहां तक समझता हूँ कि नॉर्मली बच्चों को यहाँ से पढ़ने के बाद में जॉब मिल जाती है इमीडिएटली, और वो शायद उनको इजी रास्ता है कि ठीक है यार बीटेक कर लिया, बीटेक के बाद जॉब मिल गई, दैट्स इट. और ये वाली चीज के लिए सोचते नहीं है, कभी ध्यान भी नहीं देते हैं. तो मेरे को ऐसा लगता है कि अभी जरूरत है, जब खासकर अभी कोविड के समय में जब सब लोग घरों में बैठे हुए हैं, दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि आप लोग यदि ऐसे एग्जाम के बारे में सोचें, जब इस एग्जाम के बाद में यू ऑल ऑफ यू नो दैट कि जो लोग सिलेक्ट होते हैं, दे एक्चुअली डिसाइड द डेस्टिनी ऑफ द कंट्री, दे एक्चुअली रूल द कंट्री इन अ वे. क्योंकि चाहे कुछ भी कहो, पॉलिसी प्लानिंग सारा काम सिविल सर्विसेज के थ्रू अभी भी होता है. आई नो थिंग्स आर गेटिंग डिफिकल्ट, लेकिन फिर भी मैं जहां तक समझता हूँ कि ये सर्विसेज अभी भी एलीट सर्विस के हिसाब से जानी जाती है हमारे कंट्री में. तो अगर ऐसा है तो हमारे यूनिवर्सिटी के स्टूडेंट यदि चाहें तो आई टेल यू, यदि दे रियली विश, दे कैन इजीली गेट इनटू दिस सर्विसेज. बहुत सारे लोग जाते हैं 3-4 साल बाद, कई बार पता नहीं चलता हमें कहाँ कौन से स्टूडेंट कहाँ चले गए, किस तरीके से इसमें आ गए हैं. लेकिन इतना मेरे को पता है, यदि आप पढ़ते पढ़ते ही इसको क्रैक करना चाहें, यू कैन डू इट. मैं आपको बताना चाहूंगा कि आज से 5 साल पहले मैं UIT कुरुक्षेत्र में डायरेक्टर था. वहां पे 2 स्टूडेंट्स को जानता था, लड़कियां थी दोनों, एक करनाल से थी, एक कैथल से थी. दे वर वेरी नॉर्मल स्टूडेंट, लेकिन उनका काम करने का तरीका क्या था, दे वर वेरी फोकस्ड. उन्होंने बीटेक करते करते सोच लिया था कि हमें बनना है तो सिविल सर्विसेज में जाना है और IAS में जाना है. जैसे अभी आप बता रहे थे कि यदि आप बड़ा सोचोगे तो जाके एक लेवल तक पहुंचोगे. तो मेरे को लगता है यदि आप ये सोचें कि मेरे को फर्स्ट 100 में आना है, तो आई एम श्योर कि आप फर्स्ट 100 में नहीं भी आ पाए तो कहीं ना कहीं सिस्टम में जरूर कनेक्ट हो जाओगे. तो एक कंसिस्टेंटली, एक फोकस ढंग से यदि आप मेहनत करें, आई टेल यू दिस इज नॉट इम्पॉसिबल सर्विसेज. ये इतना मुश्किल नहीं है. ये आपके माइक्रो प्रोसेसर की प्रोग्रामिंग और जो C लैंग्वेज की प्रोग्रामिंग है उससे कहीं इजी है. लेकिन ओनली थिंग इज दैट यू नीड टू बी फोकस्ड, यू नीड टू बी रियली रेगुलर इन योर स्टडीज. आपको अगर दिन में 24 घंटे में से 8 घंटे पढ़ना है तो पढ़ना ही है. उसके अलावा आपको जनरल स्टडीज के लिए आपको अपना न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ना है तो पढ़ना ही है. आपको जो बेसिक चीजें हैं समाज में जो आसपास घटित हो रही हैं उनके बारे में ध्यान रखना ही है. सो व्हाट वी नीड टू डू, मेरे को ऐसा लगता है कि हमारे स्टूडेंट्स में से अगर आप लोग चाहें, डिसाइड करें कि सर मेरे को आईएएस बनना है, तो इम्पॉसिबल नहीं है। तो मैं तो सभी लोगों को, सभी स्टूडेंट्स को यही कहूंगा कि आप इस सर्विसेज की तरफ भी देखें। जब खासकर कॉम्पिटिटिव वर्ल्ड है, जब लोग और दूसरी जगह से, सभी लोग जगह से लोग यहाँ पे इसमें सर्विसेज में एंट्री करने के लिए कोशिश कर रहे हैं, तो आप भी सोचो। और मेरी सभी को बेस्ट विशेज हैं। व्हाट आई कैन डू एज ए वाइस चांसलर ऑफ दिस यूनिवर्सिटी, दैट वी कैन एक्सटेंड ऑल पॉसिबल हेल्प। आपको लगता है कि लिटरेचर की जरूरत है, खास कोचिंग की जरूरत है, खास बुक्स की जरूरत है, खास एनवायरनमेंट की जरूरत है, we can try our level best to create that kind of environment, that ecosystem. So that is possible from my side. That will be possible. Only thing is that you need to decide yourself कि लाइफ में क्या करना है, and once you decide कि मेरे को इस सर्विसेज में जाने का मन है, and I'm after this, then please decide it just now only. अगर आप बीटेक करने से पहले डिसाइड कर लोगे, that will be really having a kind of advantage to you. That will be advantage to you. So my dear students, अभी टाइम ऐसा है जब खासकर बहुत सारी चीजें आसपास हो रही हैं, कोविड-19 की वजह से आप घरों में बैठे हुए हैं, तो you please decide it, and if you can decide now and if you can focus yourself now, I tell you this is not impossible. मैं बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स को जो रूरल बैकग्राउंड से, जो बहुत हम्बल बैकग्राउंड से आते हैं, वो आईएएस बनते हैं। तो आप सब लोग तो मैं जानता हूँ बहुत अच्छी बैकग्राउंड से हैं सभी, यू आर वेरी जिसे कहते हैं भाग्यशाली हैं कि आप लोगों के पास सब कुछ अवेलेबल है। तो दिस काइंड ऑफ थिंग इज नॉट इम्पॉसिबल। सो माय बेस्ट विशेस टू यू, प्लीज स्टार्ट थिंग्स लाइक दैट फ्रॉम नाउ ऑनवर्ड ओनली। थैंक यू।
Thank you so much, VP sir. And your words always motivate us, and you said it true that many of us can be a part of this if we want, if we are focused, and possible if we are determined. So thank you sir, and sorry Praveen sir for interruption. And now I would like you and Praveen sir to continue with the Q&A round, so that we can take some questions from the participants, and the participants can put their questions in the chat box if they have any queries or questions to ask to Alok sir. Over to you, Praveen sir.
Deepa, let me just cut you over here for 1 minute because then I have to leave. Mr. Kumar, thank you for the wonderful words of inspiration and motivation. And as a coach who's working predominantly with students, I understand from where you're coming. And before closing the session, Dinesh sir, what would you say if Game Changers came up with a very kind of a free demo or a very good price point or something very special for your students who would like to appear and prepare for UPSC exams?
Can you repeat it, please? I could not get it, please.
Yeah, so what I said was, how would it be if Game Changer as an academy could create maybe a special kind of a trial class and a special price point for your students to work on online preparation? Because हमें जैसे पता है that I don't think the schools and colleges are going to open till December end. So instead of losing time on preparation, how about if we create something very special for your students if they want to prepare and get ready for the UPSC?
Yeah. I think I'm open to this, and I will request Dr. Arvind Gupta, who is this head of this career counseling cell, that please try to find out some way out where you can be accommodated and students can get actually benefit of this kind of classes. And I'm open to this. I'm very much open to this, and especially in this time when everything is working from home, perhaps this is the best way of interacting and best way of getting things. So
sir, how can we connect with you? Because I'm sure Pranav, who is managing the Delhi center, he's here right now. He would be very willing and very happy to have something, because his goal right now is only to make sure that students do not have any kind of a time or education loss.
Yeah, so what we need to do, we need to find out a set of students. We need to prepare like 40-50 students who are actually interested in this kind of thing. And we need to motivate them. And then whatever thing we need to do, we can do it from university side. We can take care of other commercials and your expenses and things like that. But before that, we need to find out the really motivated students who would like to appear in these classes and who would like to appear for the exam. Because if we are having half-hearted students, if they are not willing, then it really doesn't work. because I know in our university the problem is that most of the students, they get job after their degree. Some of the students are not getting job, but then I think those students who are getting job, they are really good students, and we need to attract good students also for this kind of services also. So you try to find out, maybe you talk to Dr. Arvind, and let us find out a group of students. We can motivate them, and then we can connect it to your academy. Yes.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much. And Pranav, you are here if you'd like to say something to sir as I there.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dinesh sir, for all your guidance to the students, and it's really, really great to hear from you as well. And I would just like to conclude where I was finishing the previous conversation, where we as an academy is offering and are privileged to be having officers on board with us who are going to guide students on a weekly basis in terms of the strategies and in terms of how to get those officer-like qualities before they become an officer. So overall एक holistic approach है, and students themselves will be interacting a lot with not only IPS officer like Mr. Kebil Khurana, who's a DIG of Dehradun, but other IAS officers are also there who they can definitely get guidance from. So saying that, coming back to Shweta's your question, we actually just have a demo class arranged specially for YMCA students for next Sunday, and I think we will be putting the link very shortly. And students who are keen on seeing how the online learning, because that's the new reality these days with the offline classes not working, we have an online demo class happening next Sunday, and with an option of converting into an offline mode as soon as we are offline, as soon as we get the go ahead from the government. So that both the options will be available for all the students who are keen to join as an offline or an online batch. Yes, so I think the link has been shared, and please join us for the demo class which is happening next Sunday.
Thank
Yes,
you, Pranav sir. Coming towards the end, lastly, I would like to say thank you so much to Alok sir and ma'am, that I just want to say that I am feeling so motivated right now that I didn't thought that you would make it look so simple and easy, and your energy made us feel energetic, and I really hope that participants have got the idea that how they have to follow the steps and how to think big, how to prepare, and how to be the one from the thousands. Now, as we are running short of time, I would like to thank all the participants, BC sir, and everybody for being so cooperative. And now I would like to request Dr. Arvind Gupta, Head of Career and Counselling Cell, to share his words of wisdom. Sir. Arvind sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we are very thankful to Alok Kumar ji, who inspired our students and all their teams and all the team of Career Counseling Cell. We are also very thankful to our Vice Chancellor sir to motivate us and provide all different type of helps to doing such type of activity time to time. And one thing that Madam discussed about the modality of running the classes. So she may contact to me by they will communicate, and any other thing they want from YMC side, so they may ask, and all we want to be that cooperation will continue in coming future. And overall, we are very thankful to all the different participants to participate in this activity. And I am thankful to our Career Counseling Cell, students team, and I am thanks to all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for enlightening our thoughts and for the vote of thanks. But the session has not ended yet. We are far away, but let's capture this memorable moment. I request everybody present here in the meeting to turn on their videos for a group photograph. Okay, so hopefully the photograph has been taken. And finally, moving towards the end, I, Deepa, on behalf of Career and Counselling Cell, would like to say thank you to everyone here for their graceful presence. Special thanks to today's speaker, Mr. Alok Kumar, faculty members, for sparing such precious moments from their busy schedule. We are also grateful to all the participants of the seminar for being such a wonderful audience. Now,
Thank you, Deepa. Thank you, Deepa. Before ending the session, I have one question from Amol sir. If I'm audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible. You can continue.
Myself, Shrey sir. Actually, sir, I have a question regarding like you talked about that we should read only one newspaper, and that is Hindu. So what about sir what about sir Economic Times? Do we need to read it?
No, Economic Times is completely focused on economy part. So such an extensive portion is not covered. So if you read the Hindu, this will cover your economy part as required for this examination.
Answer, what about India Yearbook?
India Yearbook you can consult. You certainly, if you are left with the time, you can do that. But Game Changer has come up with their own study materials, which will help you in a very concise and brief manner. So India Yearbook is a good option. Having said that, I would say that if you get a study material which is very concise and helps you in the direction of the exam, it will be much better. You have asked a very important question. Thank you for asking.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir, for answering the question. Now, I request all of you to stand up for the national anthem and sir to do the needful.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you so much, everyone. All the participants, faculty members, VC sir, thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody, especially Deepa Mishra for being the MC of the entire thing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.